What's my favorite German word? Es gibt kein schlechtes Wetter, es gibt nur schlechte Kleidungen. Because this, as an Italian, it's the thing that represents most, let's say, the reality that I lived in. During my PhD, I was obviously, let's say, yes, working quite hard, but it happened to talk to people in my branch as well, and I've seen that there was this drone topic, vertical takeoff and landing aircraft topic popping up. Doing a PhD in wind engineering, focusing on air at low altitudes, it was pretty obvious that if, let's say, this new industry wanted to be able to come up and scale, it would need to rely on a set of information that were not there in terms of weather at low altitudes. Therefore, I started to, let's say, combine my background in aerospace, what I was doing in terms of a PhD, and I pulled together the idea that I have found the right time to found a couple of years later. So this is when I decided actually to build it. In my personal journey, that felt completely right. It was the right thing to do. I was in aerospace. On one side, there were orders, so airline orders of aircrafts going a little bit down because of COVID. So the let's say the aircraft industry, I don't say that it was reducing, but it was slowing up momentum. And then the drone and eVTOL industry was steadily picking up because it was still relying a lot on private investment at the time. I had to decide if I wanted to keep on playing the role in the old industry that was at that stage, or like doing the big jump and doing what I anyways would have done in a second moment. So it was really a good combination of events that brought me to found it, and it felt completely right, the right thing to do. So I was not sitting waiting that COVID was past. I was actively producing the technology that would have started to solve problems that companies benefit today from. It has always been a roller coaster in terms of the investment market in the space, because the drone market was always contaminated, let's say contaminated in terms of, let's say, investment from the air taxi market. And that has had a very big, let's say, waves of hype. So this didn't make it easy for an investor, but also for companies that were starting to position themselves. Therefore, the investment market was really hard. But it is getting streamlined. Investors are conscious about those differences. They are conscious about the sub-markets, the importance of the digital part of the puzzle within the drone segment itself. So it is really, let's say, yes, getting in the right direction, I would say. I think that, let's say, the biggest difficulty on a business level is connected to the language itself, to the fact that everything more or less happens in German, and not necessarily all the team members that we wanted or that we had on board, including myself, were skilled in German. We have found a very good supportive ecosystem in Hamburg. Specifically, I'm very happy about the experience I had personally with EFB. I met, I would say, very helpful persons who believed on our ideas, supported us since the beginning, and I think they are now getting a return. There is let's say, the investment pool. There is the city itself. The city itself has a lot of interest into technologies for his personal endeavors. And then there are a lot of companies. There are a lot of, let's say, industry stakeholders. So I do think that there is a very big advantage in engaging. You asked my personal opinion, and my personal opinion is that ultimately let's say, the real business connections, they happen one-to-one. So I think everyone needs to find his own balance between, let's say, the amount of talks that he gives or attend to, and the type of, let's let's say, discussion one-to-one that people do with peers or other, let's say, business stakeholders who want to actually create something. I think certainly like the geopolitical situation is being changed. There is this friction between the US and Europe that has been created, and I think that let's say Europe itself as a whole, not only Hamburg, can offer a valid alternative to people who want to create their business and they were let's say going US. I do think that Hamburg in this scene can play a significant role, specifically in aerospace, because we do have here in Hamburg many of the let's say the key stakeholders that actually every small startup actually would benefit from when starting off their idea, because ultimately they represent either a sparring partner or a sales channel for their initiative. So it is super promising actually. Hamburg as a city. I hear in Europe, and therefore also Hamburg will benefit from this. There are a lot of important initiatives from the European Union that are looking at startups and are thinking about let's say building a company. Like something that is really crucial in the economy. That is something that I was not seeing a few years back. And there is a desire to simplify the rules for a funder to actually make this innovation possible. And I do think that if this works out, then obviously also Hamburg would benefit a lot from this as an ecosystem and people coming here.